Despite Will Smith being kicked off a couple of projects after his infamous Oscar slap, it seems that Hollywood studios are ready to put the Oscar winner back on the payroll. The actor is reportedly being flooded with offers for various movie roles by studios and streaming platforms alike. This alleged bump in popularity has caused people to question whether the 10-year Oscar ban was punishment at all. And some are left asking, why is he not enduring cancel culture the way so many others have? So ladies and them, what are your thoughts on this? And I want to ask you, B, like,
yes.
You know, being flooded with so many opinions when you post about this, what do you take? Why isn't cancel culture affecting Will?
Well, I think because, people are so divided about it. When we initially ran the story on the website, it was, people felt strongly in both directions.
Yeah.
And when you have people that are conflicted, some people are going to cancel him and some people are not. And I think it just depends on how you feel you would have reacted in that moment as to what side you would have been on.
Well said.
And I feel, for me, I just think that I just want to make clear to everyone that, violence is not something that we should condone.
Ever.
And I would commend Chris Rock for his response. He is a higher being, higher consciousness, because if somebody had slapped me like I was in a slapping competition, I don't know how I would have responded. And imagine if both of those people would have had an out-of-body experience and would have just been fighting and brawling. What would that
You would have been making war in the heavenlies.
Exactly. And I think that, it's when you are coming and especially expressing opinions about this on social media, make sure that you're putting out the right message.
Right.
I don't believe insulting people is the answer either, but definitely where do we draw the line?
Right.
Just because you're offended about something, just because someone insults your family member or something, do you have the right to put your hands on that person?
No.
Yeah.
And I think that's the real question for me.
I couldn't agree with you more. I think the reason why Will Smith also is not enduring the cancel culture, as we call it, is because Will Smith is a huge box office star.
And a goat for the culture.
Hollywood is about money, right? Will Smith brings people to the theater. And I also feel that because this hasn't been his history.
No.
This is something like out of the body, whatever you want to call it, it's not his norm. But I'm curious, had it been a rapper, had it been somebody else, would that have been the end of their career?
Yeah.
But then also, too, think about it, who else would have been allowed to walk all the way up to stage?
Nobody.
Let me tell you, that was a long walk.
Nobody.
I
They
mean,
would've been
he had
tackled.
so unexpected.
He would have
been
plenty of time to
tackled.
think about that. No, but I'm saying it was long. He was sitting, it was like, do.
Yep.
And then that slap, it was just so much.
I
Right.
like that you recognize, though, that everybody had a different opinion because to the eyes of the beholder, it triggers something different in everybody.
Yes.
And even for me, like when I watched it, I think that I could see why both sides were conflicted with whether or not it was wrong or right. And at the end of the day, we know as humans, as humankind, that violence is never the answer.
Right.
But to those who have been bullied, or to those who have to protect their wives, or to black women that don't have voices, or to the alopecia thing in your hair, like there's so many reasons, So this is
But violence is never okay.
Right.
Balance is never okay. And I
never
was
okay.
seeing online where people were trying to cancel the people who were, had a different viewpoint than supporting Will Smith. So they would go
Wow.
and find the most nastiest thing they could say about the person
Right.
and be like, is this you? You know what I mean? Trying to cancel the people who were, not
Defending
supporting
or
Will.
not
Right.
defending.
Yeah,
Right.
it was a
It is
lot.
so true.
Yeah.
But ultimately, it's like you said, Garcelle, it's about money. Ultimately, it's about money, and whether or not this happened, Will Smith brings money to the box office,
That's right.
and that's what people are paying attention to.
And that
And
goes
people
to
better not be slapping me. That's all.
And we have that clear. Do not.
Woo!
Do not slap
B.
me.
Scott.
Okay.
Lord.
'Cause you
But the
definitely will
crazy
get
thing,
something back, baby.
You just gave credit to Chris Rock and him, being so stoic in that moment and really holding his peace, so to
Yeah.
say. His numbers have also gone up as well.
Yes.
Absolutely.
So his popularity has gone up. His success in his shows lately has gone up. So there is something to be said about popularity when there's a conversation that's been going. We've talked about this is the second time we're talking about it.
Yeah.
And it's being discussed everywhere. When you're in
Yeah.
everyone's mouth, there is a dollar sign attached
Absolutely.
to that.
And
And
he-
Hollywood recognizes
Yeah.
that.
And he said that
For
he's
sure.
not going to talk about it until he gets paid.
And,
How about that?
there will be a check.
There will be a
check
check.
this
Where's
out.
the money?
Ticket sales for Chris Rock's
Where the money resides,
Where the
buddy.
money resides.
Ticket sales for Chris Rock's stand-up comedy tour have skyrocketed. StubHub says it's experienced more than 25 times its daily sales,
Wow.
and the average price of tickets jumped from between $150 to about $250 a ticket for
Oh, my
Chris Rock.
goodness.
So it doubled. I mean,
doubled.
like, not that it should ever take this, but like, it's just crazy
Right,
how our
right.
society works.
That is how
honestly.
our society works.
Yeah.